Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Let's talk today about belief and how you create your reality. How do we go from limited to limitless? It blew my mind this week that I posted a 1 minute video on TikTok and the Shorts channel. If there's a link below, if you don't know where that is. And over 145,000 people watched it. And there was this huge debate around how you create your reality. And it kind of shocked me because when you learn something and you move on and you embody that belief and you live it, you kind of start to feel like everybody knows this already, right? Everybody knows that your beliefs create your reality, right? I would love to hear from you in the community. Are you confused about this? I think for a long time, a lot of people said your thoughts create your reality. And to some extent, that's part of the process, but it's not the root cause. And so when I say it's not your thoughts that create your reality, it's actually your beliefs. There was this mind-blowing debate in the comments around what actually creates your reality. So I wanted to clarify for you how this all works from a neuroscience, psychology, and physiology perspective, and maybe clarify how you create your reality. Because when we're so confused, or there's so many different inputs of everybody saying different things, it can be disheartening to feel like, well, I guess I'm just stuck. I guess it doesn't work for me. And again, I'll raise my hand. I know I was there for a long time, and I kind of forgot when I discovered or started to realize and see the evidence of the proper process materializing in my life. I didn't think to tell anybody. I guess I just kind of assumed that I was the last to figure it out and everybody else knew. So let's dive in, right? We want to remember that we are creators made in the likeness of our creator. And that means we have creative capacity. And I want to preface this whole conversation with this is not just about manifestation. For me, in my world, my calling and the way I know that the divine is calling me to speak and to help others and to deliver messages is to clarify the conversation, because this is not just about manifesting egoic desires. If you want a nice car and a whole bunch of women and a fancy house so that you look good to everybody else and you can feel okay about yourself because everybody else thinks you're good, then that's not going to be how I'm able to support you. That's not going to be sustainable long term. You might be able to do it, but eventually there will be a crumbling. What I teach and the support that I offer is helping people step into their divine life purpose. Becoming limitless means, yes, you are limitless within the vein of your purpose and your divine design. So if you're looking for just those selfish manifestation tips, this probably isn't the video for you. Okay. The beautiful thing is that there is a process to becoming capable of doing this, that there are things we talk a lot about the subconscious. There's things that live inside of us that we're unaware of. Our entire being, we all know that we're made up of a lot of different microbes. We're kind of like a community or a network of different living things or beings that are inside of us. And it goes beyond just the physical, tangible microbes in your body. You are a system. You are a system of different parts. And there are different parts of you that will have different levels of consciousness, and they may have different opinions. One part of you might say, I really like water skiing. And the other part of you is like, I don't really like the wetsuit. It's kind of sticky. So those are two different parts of you that have different perspectives, different opinions. And so it's really important to understand, if we're going to create our reality, we have to get clear on everything that is happening within us. Cognitive behavioral psychology tells us that your beliefs create your thoughts. And your thoughts create your emotions. Emotions are like a sensation in the body, not your feelings. That's different. I'll clarify in a second. Backing up, beliefs create thoughts. Thoughts create emotions. Emotions create action. Action creates results, and results affirm the belief, creating a cycle. Then we start to believe, well, that's just how it is. That's the truth. That's reality. Well, come to find out, that's not necessarily the truth or reality. It's just your confirmation bias because of the cycle of how we create material evidence in our life through this cognitive behavioral psychology process, right? So to clarify, emotions versus feelings. A feeling is an emotion. So backing up again, emotion is something that arises within you. You have a sensation in your body that says, right? If someone slams on the brake in front of you and you have that clenching that happens in your body, that is an emotion. Now, if you add the story to it, that guy's a jerk, that always happens to me, I hate driving, that's a feeling. So a feeling is an emotion with a story attached to it. This is why we say we cannot trust feelings, because sometimes our brain lies to us. But emotions, the sensation in the body, are valid signals to be honored, respected, and listened to, because they are wise and they have guidance for you. And I promise you, this is going to connect into how to create your reality, how to become limitless, and all of those things. So we now understand the process. It starts with your belief. Your belief is everything. Now, I love the biblical story of the woman with the issue of blood. She was bleeding for 12 years. She had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's day and age around doctors and trying to understand what was happening to her. And she had heard that Christ was in the next town over, and she was going to go see him with the belief that he was going to heal her. Now, he was surrounded by people. There was a big crowd following him, lots of people pressing up against him, and it was hard for her to get to him. So she crawled through the crowd, or meandered through the crowd, and got down and touched the hem of his garment. She had a belief, if I could just touch him, I will be healed. And as she touched him, the power left his body, and he turned around and he said, "Who touched me?" And the people in the crowd said, "Christ, everyone's touching you. We're all jammed in here," right? And he finally, the woman acknowledged, "That was me. I am sorry. I just needed to be healed." And he said, "Woman, your faith has healed you." And so the important part here to recognize is that faith is belief. She believed that he would heal her. None of those people touching him or pressing up against him were in the belief that they would be healed by touching him. But it was her belief that healed her. There are so many different instructions across all ancient languages or beliefs, or dare I say religions, which I'm not a proponent of, but the holy books are important. They have instruction on how to operate this vesicle that we have been gifted. We have the beautiful gift of the body, and we need to understand how to drive this vessel, this vehicle that we have been gifted. The brain operates in a certain way. You can consciously create neural pathways. You can consciously monitor your thoughts and manage what you are creating. You can consciously choose belief. You can recognize the signals of the body, the emotions of the body that are telling you where you are not free. These mechanisms of the brain and body, it would be kind of like trying to drive a sports car like a manual Ford. It just doesn't work. We have to understand how this works. And so this is the beautiful gift of understanding how to become limitless starts with your belief. Yes, your beliefs create your thoughts. And yes, your thoughts create your emotions and your actions and your results. So to that extent, to that degree, your thoughts are participating in the process of creation. Yes, words are very powerful. Yes, you create spells with your spelling. Absolutely. In the beginning was the word, but before the word was the belief, was the desire, and that belief that surrounded that desire, I can do this, right? So we want to remember that when we are stuck, when we are feeling limited, this is my favorite new term. For any of you that follow me, if you hear me say limited, I'm kind of talking about trauma, because I don't love the term trauma because it isolates people who say, I don't have trauma, right? But really, if you look at the collective whole of humanity, we are limited. What happens in the brain and body around the changes and our limits is indicative of the same changes that happen due to complex trauma, but can also happen just from emotion suppression and subscribing to a hustle and grind culture. I want to say that a different way. Can I set it backwards? The brain and body change in the same way when you believe you have to hustle and grind, or you believe you have to suppress your emotions. The brain and body change in the same way as they would after experiencing complex trauma, right? We have an relied upon limbic system. We perceive threat where there is none. We are more activated than in rest and digest. Our nervous system is highly sensitized. We're highly sensitive to the world. We're empathic, all these things. I could go on forever about that, but I'm not going to do that today. The point is, whether you experience trauma or you have just subscribed to the world's prescription for life of hustle and grind and emotion suppression, you are limited. There are things living in you, whether it's beliefs or open trauma responses or the changes in the brain that are causing you to limit yourself, right? We are made by an unlimited creator, and we were given a beautiful life purpose path that promises us the desires of our heart because they were put there to be your compass so long as they are not ego driven. And you can achieve those things, you can receive those things unless you limit the unlimited creator that lives inside of you. The body is the temple. The kingdom of heaven is within. Within is the key. This is where everything you need is within you, right? So belief can be shifted if it's simple, right? If I want to believe, if I have previously said this pen is too heavy for me to pick up, and I choose to believe, no, I can do hard things, I can pick up the pen. There's not a lot of emotional charge there. But if I had a very difficult experience in life that came with a big emotional charge that has caused me to believe the world is not safe, the people are not safe, there's not enough money, I'm not good enough, it's not safe, I'm not safe, it's not safe to be me, whatever those big, powerful emotions that you experienced that created those subconscious programs and the beliefs that live within you, those are the ones that are hard to shift, right? That's how I put myself in a box. I had all sorts of concerns around, and I talk about my core term. We all have a micro and a macro term, micro and a macro belief or trauma, really. And for me, that was, I'm bad. That was what my minister father wanted me to believe, that I was a sinner and shameful and I could do nothing right. And so that belief of I'm bad came along with a lot of other beliefs. I can't, I shouldn't, I'm stuck, right? It's not the truth, right? I have to tell the truth. I'm bad if I don't tell the truth. And those are the kinds of beliefs that are really hard to shift, because there's a part in you, there's, whether it's your literal organ, your heart, or an inner child part who was 3 years old, who was given that belief. There's a part in you that holds the key to that belief. And this is where we become limited, because our intelligent brain says, no, I'm a good person. But the embodied belief does not believe that. We have to have embodied belief. So whether or not your intelligent brain believes something is completely different than if your body believes it, right? So we can't control and force and manipulate this process. We have to learn to get into the body. And this is where trauma spotting is such a beautiful gift. I am truly honored to this day, and I will say this forever. It was not mine. It was gifted to me by the divine. That this is the next step in unleashing the human potential, in allowing yourself to become the limitless creator so that you can believe and receive the gift of the life that you have been promised, right? This is why we say it's safe to trust the guidance of the desires of your heart, right? Remembering too that there's bodily emotion. So even if you think it up here, doesn't matter. The body has a completely separate memory process, and what we're calling proto-consciousness, still yet to be finalized scientifically, but we're on our way there. So it can believe something outside of your conscious choice to believe. This is why we have to learn to get into the body, leverage the healing natural abilities of the body to release, reprogram, and set ourselves free so that we can truly become limitless. You are powerful. You are powerful. And let's remember the number of bits of information that are out there relative to the number of bits of information that our eyes can bring in and our brain can process is 0.0036% of reality. I think I previously said 0.0035, but when I look at the actual algorithm or the mathematical equation, it's 0.00036, which means 99.9% of our reality is out there, but we're not able to receive it and perceive it. So when you say, I choose to see this in my life now, it's not that it doesn't exist and you're calling it into creation. No, you're telling your brain, I know it's out there. We're going to see it. Right. And so you have to, just like when shopping for a red truck, you tell your brain that's important and all of a sudden you see them everywhere. Right. This is how we take our power back. We learn to identify our beliefs. We learn to find it in the body and work with the parts to reprogram it and close that stress response. And we learn to recognize the evidence of what I now believe is out there, and I choose to see it now, right? This is my life mission, helping unleash the human potential, helping break free of the chains of our limited nature, learning how to become limitless and to step into our purpose so that you can thrive. Because when you thrive, you're thriving, rises the tide, which rises all boats, which means all of humanity benefits when you are thriving. Your life purpose doesn't have to be some grandiose save the world mission. It just gets to be what you love because the divine put the desire in your heart as your compass to lead you towards your purpose. So because all of this is so incredibly important, I know all of us, all we want is joy and peace and fulfillment, and maybe to do something that matters in the world. And I know that you have a good heart, and I know that you're a powerful being. And I can now see this, the simplest little process of trauma spotting can help you break free from those chains, going from limited to limitless, stepping into your purpose and realizing the life of your dreams. So because of that, I'm going to do a little mini masterclass on November 22nd at 11 a.m. live on a Zoom call. I've never done this before. I'm trying to make it as accessible as possible. $44. You can jump in. I will post the link very, very shortly. So keep an eye out. I haven't even created the page yet. So you're going to see this before the link is available. Keep an eye out. I will post another video as soon as it's done. Like, subscribe, share, all the things in case you're not already subscribed so you can get notified of this. And I will train you step by step how to do this process, how to identify the limiting beliefs, find your blocks, figure out what's keeping you stuck, get into the body, shift it, and become limitless. I love you, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you on that masterclass as well as the next video. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.